was like different magic. I think it was like a book on magic things you can do and stuff. So I've always been curious. I've always been wanting to know more, and I think it's kind of cool. And then my dad would, put stories in my head when I was a kid, when I did see him and stuff. So, I mean, I do believe there's certain things that happen. Yeah. So going to my elementary school, it was the grade 6 party, and everybody got to bring some stuff from home. I remember that was the first time I listened to like AC/DC. Oh, yeah. The bad kid. No, it was Dirty Deeds Thunder Chief. Yeah. So it's like, what is this? Yeah. And it's like, I'm scared, but I kind of like it. Says the rocker chick in me.
Yeah, I know it.
Anyway, the heavy metal chick. And I liked it. We're doing all this like grade 6 close up or whatever. And then there was a resource room in my elementary. So like there was 4 classrooms, and in the middle there was a resource room, and that's where the extra chairs went and the tables and all this kind of stuff, any kind of functions. And then like, a bunch of us are walking through the hallway for this area that the grade 6 rooms are at. And like the lights are turned off, which is never really ever. And you could see kids in there, and it's like, what are they doing?
Well, let me go look.
What are they doing in there? What's going on? And then people would walk by. They're playing with a Ouija board. They're playing what? They're playing with a what? It's like Ouija board. Yeah. Huh? They're trying to contact the dead. What? It's like
I gotta go see what's going on.
I want in on that shit.
Yeah.
It's like, seriously? Like, I didn't know dead people. I didn't have any personal dead people at that point. So, no. And I'm like, okay, well, that sounds freaky, And then, but of course, whoever had the board, like, I thought they were just being prudish, oh, no, you can't play. But it was just, I guess, because, they're, like, you can have so many hands on the board and stuff, right?
People were playing that?
Yeah.
Was it like 4 or 5 people?
There was like 4 or 5 people in there. And then they're like, go away, get out. Whatever.
Oh, shit, no,
like,
I want to play.
Not this shit again. Anyway, so fast forward like a week or 2 later, my grandparents were very good to me. Anytime I finished a school year, I'd get like a present.
Oh,
me too. You too? Yeah. Because that's going to encourage me to go on the next year, please. So I said, I want a game. I want a board game. And then my grandparents, being German, they don't know this shit. And they're like, well, what kind of game? And they took me downtown. I remember it was...
You're like, I want the Ouija board.
Yeah. But I remember it was funny because it was before the malls existed, really. I think St. Vital was here. Yeah, we went down. There was a game store. No, right on the Portage Avenue there. There was a game store. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, I know, right?
That was a game store then.
Or all those other funky stores.
Yeah, I know,
And I won't even try to tell you what the names of the stores on Portage were in the early 80s because it just blows my mind. I remember I used to buy clothes and shit down there.
Oh, I used to buy else.
Orientique. I love that one. That was awesome. Earrings, man.
Yeah.
I bought my first whip from there, but that's another story for another time. Anywho... And then my grandfather's like, okay, so we go downtown. I find the board. I think it was like $14, $15. He gives me the money,
$14 for possession. Yay.
Well, like, that meme that says, you have to be 21 to drink, but you can be 8 years and up to operate a Ouija board.
That's probably
How does that even make sense?
I know, it's funny.
So I get this board and I'm like, who am I going to play with? So I know. Well, and we still got a bit to go here. So anyway, I got tequila. Tequila. Oh, we might have to do a shot. So, and just for you folks at home, it is day drinking, and I have to go to a parent night at Driver's Ed tonight. Very entertaining for 6 o'clock.
I just have to go home and cook supper. That's
okay. Not my first rodeo. I've been to one before, so it's okay. I know it all. I'll just take over.
Yeah, drive, damn it.
You fucking don't turn that way. You don't need no fucking turns, you sons of bitches. Get out of my road. Road rage. So anyway, my grandfather gets me this board, take it home. I phoned my best bud Deb, tell her what I got. She doesn't know what it was. Now, before that...
Did you not tell her what it was?
Okay, yes, I did. Well, she was in my grade 6 class, so she knew about it, right? And I told her what I wanted and what I was going to get. And it was funny because I remember, was it that summer or the summer before? I don't know. We'd watched stuff, The Amazing Kreskin, so we're kind of curious stuff. We tried a table tip and all that kind of shit, right?
Yeah. That is very...
I bring it over to her house, and her mom's like pure Catholic. She goes, I don't want that board in my house. Don't bring that board in.
Really?
Yeah. So she knew what it was. She knew what it was. And she's French-Canadian, right? Like, like very Catholic. She knew what that shit was.
She knew that.
She knew.
Like the link to the devil there?
Just like she wouldn't even allow peacock feathers in her house, right? Because... No.
What if you had a peacock running around your fucking house? Like, what do you do then?
Pluck them.
I know, I'm just like, what the hell?
What the fuck is that bell peacock doing running through your yard?
No, like, really?
No, but seriously, like, because they say it's the eyes of the devil. So she couldn't even have peacock feather.
Devil ass feather.
I know, right? Poor birds.
Oh.
I know. So anyway, so I couldn't play with her. I think we might have played it at my house. But then I had these other friends, right? Mm-hmm. I had like, some of the popular friends.
Bad friends.
No, you're the good kids. I guess I can give first names. Like, I'm Facebook friends with a few things. There was like Carlene, Ricky, and Shelly, and then maybe Linda.
Okay.
Two of those I'm Facebook friends with.
I might know two of them. I might know two, yeah.
Yeah, so, we go to Carlene's place, we played in the garage, we played in the basement. It kind of moved on its own, and then Ricky was being a douche, and he was asking some, like, really horrible questions.
Yeah, that you don't want to know.
Like, when's Jasmine gonna die? And she's like, don't ask that stuff! Fuck!
Oh, you don't want to ask that
because he was such an idiot. Anyway, he's not friends on Facebook anymore.
No.
That's fine. But remember, I re-friended him, and he still wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that was the whole thing there.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway... we'd play and we'd screw around there at her house one time. And then I remember one time, okay, now this is the meat and potatoes of the story. Before 6 o'clock hits.
Okay, let me get the stewing going.
So anyway, nobody else was around. Shelly wasn't doing anything. She comes over to my house. We hang out in my bedroom. And this is in Windsor Park. Mm-hmm. So we're sitting there. And we're playing with it. And it's moving pretty fluidly between the two of us.
Right.
Because before there was always like a bunch of us.
Yeah.
And now you notice how fluidity, blah, 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 blah.
The fluidity was not as good?
It was very good. Very good.
It was very good. Oh, okay.
And you could tell neither of us were really pushing it. Just the way it was just kind of skating around.
Yeah.
And then, we started asking questions. And we got a hold of a little boy. And I want to say his name was like Timmy or Tommy. I can't remember. That was a long time ago, right? Yeah. And we get a hold of this little boy. And he's telling us he's 6 years old. And it's like, you're dead. Yes, I'm dead. Oh, yeah. And then he tells us about his family, and he lived, I can't remember where he said he lived, and, he's having a really good dialogue back and forth, like, this is going really, really well, kind of freaky. Right. And every time he spells out something, and then we ask the question, how did you die? And then we go back, and he's forcing the planchette, and we're like, well, but how did you die? Do you know how you died?
Oh.
And we must have asked about 4 or 5 times.
He didn't answer ever?
No, he was trying to avoid the question. And at that point then it got like really fast. The planchette got really, really freaky fast, and it was kind of going all over the place, like we're just trying to follow it. And then all of a sudden I think we pissed him off or something because of that question.
6-year-old boy, you can piss 6-year-old boy off.
But if that's what it is, right?
Yeah, I know.
And it was trying to talk to us and tell us stuff, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden out of nowhere we both felt this jolt of electricity up our left and right arms and was like, and we literally jumped back. Like it forced us back from the board.
And you're like, shit, no, I'm good.
Yeah, we both had the same sensation of like an electrical current shooting up our arms.
Okay, either he was really pissed off at you guys, or that's how he died.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Could be. Maybe he didn't know. A 6-year-old boy, would a 6-year-old boy know that he was like electrocuted?
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I think we just pissed him off though.
Could be that too though.
And it was just the weirdest thing because after that, we did not want to touch that
fucking thing again. No, I don't want to talk to Timmy anymore.
To this day, because I'm an old broad now, to this day, I have never felt that kind of electrical current. It was a very strange electrical current.
Odd feeling.
Up the arms.
You ever touch like a cow fence or anything? No, really.
In my spare time, no.
I have. I had to go to a field trip with my kid one time. And Mr. Farmer Brown thought it'd be really funny.
Oh my God.
Yes. It's a good thing. I'm like, we're talking about
how was your pacemaker?
Day. Yeah, exactly. And like my brother's wife is going, really? I'm like, yeah, right through our arms. And she's like, I said, maybe that's why my heart flutters now. She's like, seriously?
Oh, no. Shit. Oh my God.
No, it was just.
But it was the most freaky, very
It's
surreal.
not a great feeling.
It was the most surreal moment because it's a board game. It's not hooked up to anything electrical. There's no batteries. There's no plug-in.
It's like Operation the Wacky Doctors game. Yeah, I know.
And it was very unnerving to the point where like we're looking at each other like, did that just happen?
You just packed it up and that was it.
And I didn't sign off. I didn't say goodbye. I put it in the closet and where I slept.
Well, hopefully he was like a happy ghost and he was just trying to show you.
I don't know. And my grandparents didn't, they sold the house quite a few years after. So, I mean, I spent some time in that house after, like where I had my sleep paralysis shit and stuff.
Right. No, just
now
I'm
thinking, Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I didn't sign off because we're too freaked out. And you know what? I would assume you have to sign off and say goodbye, but like nobody tells you these things.
No,
like,
I know.
I didn't read the instructions.
No, I know, and we're gonna follow the rules now. We have rules. There are rules, damn it, to this game.
It was so unnerving. Like at that point, I'm like, I'm never touching one again.
Really? Eh?
Yeah. And I'm kind of dumb because I do things 5 and 6 times before
I
learn.
Too. That's why I've never actually played with one. So I'm like, oh,
I'll try anything 5 or 6 times before I actually learn. And that one,
too. No,
way.
You're good.
No,
that was enough
I'm
for you
not.
one time.
That was too unsurreal, and to the point like we talked with my friend Debbie. Of course, I interview her on Friday. Yet she phones when Sherry's over here. Debbie, Jesus,
what the hell? I
you
couldn't
dumb
believe
banana.
that. She's like, we were just talking about you. Ring, ring, ring.
We were playing her interview.
Yeah.
And I when me and her are talking, I did explain how the one time on a Friday night, her and some other friends were playing the Ouija board. I yell into the house, "Hey, what are you guys doing? We're playing a Ouija board. Okay, see you tomorrow.
Yeah,
bye bye." But that Ouija.
Bye. Thank you very much.
So when a 12-year-old kid has a game that she spent like $12 or $14 on, I think my grandfather paid for it. But the thing being, right? I basically gave it away to Ricky. I'm like,
here you go.
Yeah, here you go. You can take it.
You can play
I didn't
with
want the money. I just gave it. So that's, anytime you have a Ouija board, you either give it away or you bury it. Do not burn it. Anyway, so that's my spiel.
That's your spiel.
Big long spiel.
And I'm sticking to my spiel. Yeah, no, but really, like the rules for general, like for example, when we were at the IKEA thing there, like you remember the lady? She was like, "Oh,
the girl,
yeah." Like it's like. She was like saying, well, we didn't... Did she say that they said goodbye or not?
She didn't recall.
She didn't recall this.
She did not recall, but the fingerprint was on the inside of the glass, freaked me out.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of freaky. Yeah, I know. So it's like, I was really curious about do you know how many rules they say there are?
No. On
this site, I have 21 rules.
Holy crap.
21
Get me a deck of cards. That'd be a lot easier.
I know.
Huh.
Can you imagine that?
I do have here that it says it's existed in one form or another since shortly after 1848, which was the birth of modern spiritualism, aka the Hamiltons. I mean really that was cool. Later, but when you see it, when I think spiritualism, I think of Dr. Hamilton, even though any kind of trying to connect with the other side.
Everything, and that's
even though he thought that was a religion, so he wouldn't equate that to that.
No, I know.
But yeah, so I've got here that the Talking Board Historical Society began in 2008. It'd be kind of cool to get somebody on here.
It would be really cool
to talk about that. And we do have some stories. Actually, we recruited some stories. A couple of people I worked with, a couple other people that we know, or just kind of hit up our show. And because you're listening to Giving Up the Ghost, did we say that?
I was just looking at this thing. It said first introduced in 1890 by Kennard Novelty Company.
Oh, interesting.
And sold to Hasbro. So I mean, like 1890, like holy crap balls. That's a long time ago. And if you look at the picture of them, their planchette is freaking huge.
It's high up,
it's like it's super high. It's
very
weird.
High.
I know.
Huh. Interesting.
No. It's very cool. So we shall read?
We shall read some other people's scary stuff.
You want me to read, I shall read Alyssa?
Sure, read Alyssa's. That'd be great.
Okay. This is from Alyssa. This was from Messenger?
Yes, it was just email messenger.
It says, I got to the Ouija board part and I had to tell you my story.
She was listening to our show.
Yay! Anyway. Thank you for listening to our show.
Thank you, Alyssa.
Awesome. We love you. I went to a friend's birthday party in grade school and we brought out the Ouija board. Lit candles, turned out all the lights. Ooh, I don't like that part right there just enough. It's like, let's go to a party and light candles. Turn on. I was hesitant to participate, so we decided that the other girls would ask it a question that only I knew the answer to.
Oh.
They asked what my brother's middle name was, and they had no way of knowing it. It spelled out his middle name, and one of the candles went out. I have never felt so uncomfortable. I have not used the Ouija board since.
Shit, no.
We didn't ask any other questions. Turned on all the lights and put the board away immediately. Yay, that would freak the shit out of me, too.
That's freaky.
That would.
So freaky.
I know. Especially when it's like you're kind of asking for validation and then it does it. Oh,
but then the candle goes out?
I know. That's even creepier right there. See, when I made one for my son one time and his buddies, I don't know who it was over at the time. It was a number of years ago now, like 3. He kept on asking, I don't know if one of his friends' dads passed away or something like that.
Okay.
And they were asking, is that your dad's name? And I was trying to listen from afar, like trying not to be that interfering mom
don't be that
kind
parent.
of thing. I know. And I'm like, it was kind of creeping me out because I think,
yeah,
I know.
Shit.
I know. I didn't like that. Yeah.
No.
But it was like, okay, well, it was cardboard, so
That's right.
I didn't burn it or destroy it, I put it in the recycle bin.
Excellent. Recycling. There you go. And it's Earth Day today. Good job, Sherry. Good job.
I recycled the Ouija board and all its spirits that so did come with.
Oh, I'm getting a really weird high-pitched ringing in my left ear. Somebody's saying something.
Somebody's talking about you.
But good.
Left ear?
Left ear is good.
You're good.
Okay, but that was a high pitch. So thank you.
Thank you for that. I'm feeling nothing.
Maybe, and then you hear a ringing in the left ear. Those bitches didn't put out their episode today. What the frack?
What the fuck's going on?
That'll happen.